Hi, everyone. This is Zeph Capo, president of the Texas AFT, and today is Teacher Appreciation Day, but I'd rather we talk about it as Educator Appreciation Day. I have a tremendous respect for my fellow classroom teachers. There's a whole village required to teach our kids, from the parents who support us in the classroom to bus drivers who greet our kids first thing every morning. I thank each and every one of you for what you do, both in our schools and outside of them. There are 25 days left in this legislative session, and while we don't yet know how everything will shake out, we may not win everything we set out to. I want to thank you for all that you've done so far to advocate for yourselves, your colleagues, your students, and your profession. It is making a difference. And because it's Educator Appreciation Day, I want to show you that, not just tell you. Marco, can we roll the video?
So I'm just going to go ahead and call. My name is Pearl West, and I wanted to let him know that I wanted him to, think about our schools that are facing the crisis due to years of underfunding by the Texas legislature. Any state budget without a across the board $10,000 raise for teachers and certified staff and 15% raise for support staff is not respect.
I'm Rebecca Ozuna, and I'm a proud Texas AFT member. My biggest concern is that the ESA and vouchers are going to not only divert funds to school privatization, but also move people into those systems. My other concern as a former special education teacher is that private schools do not accept all students like public schools do. You're asking to use public dollars to discriminate against our own kids.
We honestly feel persecuted with the ongoing book bans and attacks on free speech in the classroom. We were threatened at one point this year, you are being watched. This message came not from my administration, who is very supportive, but people above them who've never been completely identified. And it's in all English teachers' minds this year as we now second guess ourselves at every turn as if we're being spied on. Help us please keep teachers in public education, the field we love and where the students need us the most.
I put my life in danger every day with school shootings on the rise. My job never ends. We are the reason children get an education and can be productive adults. Vote no for these vouchers and yes for raises for Texas public schools.
Wow, thank you for that visualization of our work. I love seeing our members in action, and we're going to take action together before we hop off here tonight. We actually need everyone calling their representatives, and here's why. We have just over 3 weeks left in this session, and I want to give you an update on how our respect agenda is faring. Regarding the budget and raises, it's become clear that the legislature is perfectly willing to offer crumbs for pay raises and school funding, even with a historic state budget and a budget surplus that is larger than the entire budget of 24 states. Last week, the House passed its version of a pay raise for school employees. Thanks to your work, that pay raise does now include support staff and paraprofessionals, but it still only amounts to about $80 a month. And the Senate version offers a $2,000 bonus for teachers in big districts and a $6,000 bonus for teachers in small districts and nothing for support staff and paras. And our retirees, the House passed its version of a COLA this week. The biggest bump included a 6% COLA for retired educators who've experienced a 24% increase in the cost of living since they retired. These are crumbs, and they're not enough. They're not respect. Our fight now is with the state budget. The 10 legislators negotiating the final budget have been named and are starting their work, and they need to hear from you. We need an increase to the basic allotment of more than $1,000 per student, not $90. We need raises of $10,000 at least for certified staff and at least 15% for support staff. We need schools funded to meet all of our students' needs, including those who receive special education and bilingual services. We need counselors, psychologists, school social workers, nurses in every damn district and every damn campus in this state. That only happens with the basic allotment increase that takes us up from 39th in the nation in per student funding. Don't tell me we don't have the money. We have more of it than ever. This legislature only wants to give you a pay raise if you're willing to carry a gun and intercept intruders. We need to tell them that's not enough. There's a link on your screen and in the comments section to email lawmakers negotiating the state budget. If you haven't sent it yet, I ask you to do it now. It takes 1 minute. Let's talk about working conditions for a little. It's not just about money. 50,000 Texas teachers have left in this school year. 50,000. Sure, they feel disrespected by the pay, but they also feel disrespected every day they're at work. There are bills filed in this legislature that would lower class size, remove all the loopholes districts use to crowd your classrooms, bills that would reduce the amount of STAR testing that you're required to put your kids through, bills that would define your work year so you aren't sacrificing every night and weekend with your family, bills that would reduce your paperwork and non-teaching duties. And not a damn one of them has been given a hearing by the House Public Education Committee. If they aren't heard by this committee by Monday, they won't get a hearing this session at all. I encourage you, contact Chairman Buckley at the link on the screen and in the chat. Urge him to hear these bills. And if that means working late or working the weekends, well, it's nothing you all haven't done 1,000 times over. Make that call, send that letter. We're also fighting forward to win a key part of our respect agenda, but we're also fighting back against threats to this agenda. Our biggest threat remains vouchers, which have already passed in the Texas Senate. So far, they're not moving in the House, but I also wanted to take a moment to thank the Republican and Democratic legislators who'd voted yes on the Herrero Amendment to the House's version of the state budget. The Herrero Amendment is a strong statement against school vouchers, but it's not a done deal. The legislators on this list, especially the Republicans, are getting a huge amount of pressure to fold on vouchers. If you see your representative on this list, call them, email them, or tweet them your thanks. Encourage them to stay strong in the fight for public schools. And if you don't see your representative on this list, well, I think you know what you need to do with them as well, too. I think we have a video from a member at the Capitol. We've had over 30 of our members there speaking to their legislators today, and I'm hoping that we have a chance to hear from them before we finish out. Marco? And while they're trying to queue up the video of the person that's in the Capitol right now, if they're not able to do that, I know that there are many of our volunteers phone banking and working right now in a couple of our locals, from Houston all the way to Socorro. We'll check in with them as well, too, to see how their work is going. In Houston right now, they're making calls. And why is this important? What happens in the legislature doesn't stay in the legislature. It has real impact on our day-to-day lives. Right now, we're facing a hostile takeover from TEA and Houston ISD because in 2021, the legislature changed the rules, gave our appointed commissioner of education and TEA even more power, the power to remove the elected school board of a B-rated school district. We don't need a TEA takeover. We need more money. We need actual support. That's what we're telling our representatives on the phone tonight in Houston. Is Socorro in the house? Woo-hoo! Socorro, Socorro, you're here in West Texas making calls to your legislators. Talk to us about it.
Hi, sir. This is Veronica Hernandez, President of Socorro AFT. I am here with about 40 of our great members making calls to our legislators because we deserve more than crumbs. They're only willing to give us a minimal of what we deserve, and we're not going to accept that. So either they respect us or expect us. We need a $10,000 raise and a 15% raise for our supporters.
Thank you, Veronica, and thank you to all of our members and educators volunteering today to make calls and make sure your voice is heard and coming out on Teacher Appreciation Day, coming out on Educator Appreciation Day. You're awesome, and thank you for everything that you're doing. Remember, no decision about us without us, and that means making sure that we have a voice and who sits at the decision-making table, just like Socorro is doing today. In closing, oh, here we go. We've got Houston in the house. Jackie, take it away.
Hi, Zeb. This is Jackie Anderson, President of the Houston Federation of Teachers. I have about 80 of my members here tonight. We're celebrating Teacher Appreciation Day, and I told them you were picking up the bill. So we're here because, like Socorro, hi Veronica, we've had enough. We want true representation from our state ledge. We're tired of getting crumbs. We want a real pay raise. We want respect in our classrooms, and they can show that by putting it in our check. And when we've worked 30, 40 years, devoted this time to our students, we think our retirees deserve to live a comfortable living as well. So we are here tonight. We're calling our state legislators. We're calling the Senate. We're letting them know they need to fund our public schools, stop this voucher, passing out these vouchers and taking funds away from our public schools. So we're here tonight. Thank you, Zeph, for all that you do, and we're continuing to do the work. Thank you, and thank you, teachers, for coming out tonight.
Thank you, HFT. Thank you for all of your support, and thank you for making those important calls. Remember, get together with some of your closest friends in your union office as well, too. Actually have fun with it. That's what being in union is about. It's not just about having to do that extra hard work, but we want to have fun together, build relationships together, make sure that we know that our fellow siblings know that they're important to us and we to them. So if you haven't called your representative tonight, it's time. If you've called them already, let's do it again. We've made it easy. Follow the QR code on your screen or click the link in the chat. Enter your info and you'll be able to get a call on your phone connecting you to your representative's office. Not sure what to say? No problem. You'll get a script on your screen. Nervous about talking to a staff member? I understand, but it's important. And often those staff members are the ones that help craft the bills that eventually become law in our state. If nobody answers because it is after 6 tonight, that's not a problem either. Leave them a message because they will have to get that message first thing in the morning. We've got 25 days left to make our voice heard. I appreciate what you've done so far and what you'll keep doing to help make sure that our educators' voices are lifted and that we're victorious when the session comes to an end. This is Zeph Capo, president of the Texas AFT, saying thank you to our educators on Educator Appreciation Day. Keep up the fight. Have a good one.